Here at Helmuth Ford, we are a small town dealership with no hassle and no pressure.
See State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa at 309 High Avenue East for auto, home, business, life insurance, health insurance, and more. Kelly Style's mission at State Farm is to help people manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and realize their dreams. Call Kelly at 641-673-0088 or go to kellystyleinsurance.com. That's Kelly Style State Farm Insurance, 309 High Avenue East, Oskaloosa.
Build it together. Build it with Valley Lumber.
Are you building a new house or maybe wanting to do a remodel? Come check out our showroom at Valley Lumber and Hardware's Eddyville location. Cook kitchen cabinets, masonite interior doors, and more. Not sure what you want? Let us help with the design and layout of your new kitchen or remodel. At Valley Lumber and Hardware, we can help with any room in the house, from lumber for building to shower enclosures, paint, and more. Choose Valley Lumber and Hardware with locations in Eddyville and Albia.
Attention drivers! Sinclair Napa is proud to bring you the best deals of the year on Napa Gold filters. Whether you're tuning up for a big trip or just keeping your daily driver in top shape, our unbeatable prices will keep you on the road for less. Napa has a filter for almost anything on earth that moves. Check it out today in Sigourney, Ottumwa, Centerville, Montezuma, or Williamsburg. Napa's filters are specifically designed for what you drive, how you drive, and how often you change your filters. Your car deserves the best, and so do you. The staff members at Fremont Funeral Chapel in Fremont, Iowa will guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony to honor the life and memory of a loved one. A ceremony can be anything you wish it to be, simple or elaborate, traditional or unique. No matter how it's tailored, such a ceremony is an important step in recovering from loss. Let the staff at Fremont Funeral Chapel in Fremont, Iowa help you in your time of need. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for another rousing edition of Real Talk, brought to us by New Life Community Church in Wellman. Aaron, what's up?
There are no templates, Steve. There are no templates. There are zero templates. There is inspiration, and there's ideas, and there's things that stimulate your thinking a little bit, but there are no templates.
Wow, that's... Want to take it down a notch? That was a hostile start to Real Talk. I guess we're getting real.
I was just experimenting a little bit with the fire and brimstone kind of preaching for once.
All right.
I didn't like it that much.
You got to throw in a little...
How was that? Was that okay?
You're getting there. Yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
No, seriously. How many of you out there have heard of the story of Joshua and the Battle of Jericho? It's celebrated in songs. There was a VeggieTales episode back in the mid '90s or something like
Love
that.
VeggieTales.
Josh and the Big Wall, which was kind of a.
What were some good songs that came from that episode? I can't really remember. It doesn't matter.
In the promised land, it's gonna be so grand. We'll have our fill from the grill as much as we can stand. And that's like the only VeggieTale videos that we owned, because our son, who was 2 at about the time VeggieTales was peaking, I think, hated VeggieTales. Okay. We'd try to put VeggieTales on for him, and he would scream and cry. And it's not because he didn't like TV. He would stare at the TV until he drooled, like any other 2-year-old. But and we never could figure it out.
Okay. Kid
hated VeggieTales. But most of us have heard of Joshua and the Battle of Jericho and how the mall came tumbling down. And also the wall around the city. The wall came tumbling down. And so Joshua gets instructions for capturing the city of Jericho. And the instructions from God are, for 6 days, walk around the city of Jericho with your ram's horns blowing, doo, 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 and or maybe it was more of like a Minnesota Vikings.
Or maybe it was a pan flute.
Is that how a pan flute goes?
That's kind of saxophone-ish or trumpetish.
I think in VeggieTales they had saxophones, but VeggieTales, I'm not sure if you know this or not, but they take some artistic license with the Bible stories.
I love my lips.
Oh, gee.
Barbara Manatee, you are the one for me. Anyway, go ahead.
Wow. Okay. This devolved faster than usual. So, Steve.
And this all happened after last week's
Last week's episode of Pausing and Pruning. Now we're...
So the guys were kind of walking around a little gun shy.
What's God going to take from us next? No, actually, one thing we forgot last week is after the circumcision of the whole nation, it says, and they rested there until everyone was healed. Which is to me just another sign of the grace of God. Like God knows that He's gonna chop things out of your life, and He's also kind enough to let you rest long enough to get healing before you're on to the next thing. But now we are on to the next thing. But thank you for reminding us that last week we were talking about
timeline put in place.
Yeah, thank you. So we dealt with that. And now we're walking around the city one time a day for 6 days with everybody's completely silent except for the ram's horns blowing. And then on the seventh day, you walk around the city 7 times, everybody completely silent except for the ram's horns. And then when you've gone around the city 7 times, then you blow the ram's horns and everybody shouts as loud as they can and the walls fall down, right? Yeah. So if that was a template, then that would be how Christians should solve all of their challenges, right? Like I was just thinking about this in preparing a message for Sunday morning. I was thinking about if you wanted to buy a house, you would go march around the house one time every day for 6 days and 7 times on the 7th day, and you'd blow a ram's trumpet, and by the time you moved into that house, all the neighbors would be like,
We're moving out.
Yeah. I often think of the young single guys in the church. We've got 6 or 7 or 8 guys between the age of about 18 and 25 at New Life right now. So if you're a young Christian lady and you're looking for a church to attend, we have a selection of fine young men. Wow, that made it sound like a grocery store.
And if you go down this aisle...
So I was thinking of telling the young men, well, what the Bible says is that if you want to capture something, then find that nice young lady and go march around her one time every day for 6 days. And then on the 7th day, march around her 7 times and then yell as loud as you can. And that's got to be the recipe for true love. Yeah. Steve will teach you how to yell, and that will intrigue her and win her heart.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, or maybe we can keep reading and find out that's not actually a template. That was a one-time thing. The Israelites never again captured a city by marching around it in that way.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. We know that they captured the city of Ai by using like a sneak ambush. But other than that, we just don't know how they captured cities. And we're kind of left to think that they probably did it just the old-fashioned way. Build some siege towers, build a ramp, get some shields to cover your head from arrows and stones. And
they did it in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings style. and that was hard work and costly, and I'm sure there were casualties, and so we just wish that we could grab a hold of something from the Bible and say, this is the template, and every time that I do this, it's going to work because God's like a pop machine, and if I put in enough quarters, I'll get out the thing that I want. Oh, here was another one. I was talking about this with Jamie, our church administrator, and she was like, she reminded me of the story of Jesus casting out the demons, and they go into the pigs.
Oh, yeah.
Which is also only a one-time thing. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that was a one-time thing. So we're not like, oh, sorry, I can't cast demons out of you today. I forgot my swine at home. You know, we just can't cast demons out of this person because we don't have enough pigs to send them into. Like when you think about it in that way, like, you know, I'm going to pray for somebody and I've got my pig under my arm in case we run into a demon, and then I'll be able to. No, that's. If you think about it in that way, it's silly. But the fact of the matter is, we hear about what's successful for somebody else, and that seems really easy, and we just want to glomp onto that and have God do it that way in our lives.
Yep, that's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes. We want it easy, and so I think what I'm saying here is, if you have something in life, like a job that you want at a certain business, go walk around it every day for 7 days and pray. Not a terrible idea, but it's not some kind of guaranteed 3 easy steps to spiritual breakthrough in your life. I just don't even believe that there are 3 easy steps. There's just kind of 1, 2, 3, 2. Can I get a 3? No, it's 2.
4.
Just
How many
going to the man in the black T-shirt for 2. There's 2 steps, and I don't even know if they're easy. 1 is to seek God. You got a problem that you need to overcome? Do you need a miracle, or at least a clear way forward? Because sometimes you don't need a miracle. You just need direction. You know what I mean? Like, what on earth am I going to do? And you can't see it. So seeking God, which is what Joshua did. He's walking around Jericho one day, and he got the instructions when the angel of the Lord showed up and told him how to capture the city. He was just walking around, apparently by himself, probably praying, and God showed up and gave him the clue. So if there's any kind of template to be found in the Bible, it's that people sought God and then God showed up.
Yeah.
But then the instructions are different almost every single time. Other weird miracles in the Bible that only happen once. Jesus spits on the ground and makes mud and puts it on a blind guy's eyes and tells him, go find a pool. Thanks, the blind guy said. I'll just walk through the city and find the pool. Because I'm blind, remember? But somehow or another, he got there and washed. But as far as I can remember, that's the only time Jesus spat on the ground and made mud.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even tell us why. So there's some mystery there. If there's any why that I can explain, Steve, I think it's just that God wants to have the time with us and to have us listen to him and trust him. And so...
Or maybe he wants your little miracle to be specific for you. Like, like that was... The blind guy could be like, he only did that for me.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I like that. That is my miracle that God did for me. It's not Steve's miracle that then I like kind of got in on a little bit.
Yeah.
I got the miracle that I needed. Steve got the miracle or the instruction. And of course, hearing from God is a miracle in and of itself. So when we think of miracles, usually we think of like, oh, I got miraculously healed or $100,000 showed up in my bank account. Yeah, I could deal with that kind of a miracle. But yeah.
By the way, when you said a few minutes ago, you were talking about miracles that only happen once. It kind of sounded like you were picking a category for Jeopardy. I'll take miracles that only happen once in the Bible for 500.
Yeah, that's kind of like that. So how about I'll take my miracles for 200. Don't they always start low and
free.
then go high?
I'll take my miracle for free, please.
Is Jeopardy still on the air?
I think so, in some form. I don't know. I've never watched it.
Oh, you never watched Jeopardy?
Not really. No.
Okay. I was never real regular with Jeopardy, but
I mean, I've seen it once in a while, but
all right. Well, I think maybe we've strayed far enough that maybe it's a sign that it's time to prune this show.
Swing.
Oh my. Well, if I guess one last thing. I did say stories like the Wall of Jericho or stories of somebody else's miracles, the way somebody else heard from God, those are inspiration. Like you get energy from that. So don't look for that exact thing, but do let other people's stories or Bible stories give you energy and faith and trust in God and the processes that he uses, and keep going after it. So other than that, I think we'll just say this show has been sponsored by New Life Community Church in Wellman, Iowa. We meet at 10 o'clock in the morning at Parkside Activity Center. We've got some different groups to meet during the week, so you can check us out on Facebook if you'd like to watch a live stream before you come see us in person. But we'd love to have you join us, and it's always a good time, and there's always good stuff happening. So come on out if you're looking for a church in the Wellman area. We'd love to see you.
All right. We do thank New Life for sponsoring Real Talk with Aaron and Steve, and we'll see you again next week.